Well, now we're going to go on to one of my favorite awards, which is the Ag Hall of Fame Pioneer Award. And it's appropriate that we recognize another individual that we left out of our past inductee announcements earlier in the program, and that is Alice Didier, a young 93 years old who was inducted with the Pioneer Award in the second class of the Ag Hall of Fame. So let's recognize Alice. Clint, stand up so we can see where you're at. There we go. Okay. So, year after year, I am amazed by the sacrifice and hard work of these early pioneers and leaders in our ag industry. This category honors individuals who've had a significant influence on the development of ag and who have unselfishly served their communities. So please help me welcome to the stage Sarah Parham and Blake Oberding as they induct Fred Oberding into the Ag Hall of Fame with the 2025 Wheatland Bank Pioneer Award.
We both feel so honored for our dad to receive this Pioneer Award tonight. He grew up on Block 11 in Connell, where his parents, Paul and Sally Oberding, raised 6 kids on a cattle, alfalfa, and corn farm. As children, Dad and his brother Alan would spend countless hours farming in the dirt with their mom's spoons, making straight rows for their pretend crops and watering them with a high-C can. They were partners from the start. My dad has a coffee cup that reads, "Yes, I can." And this simple yet powerful phrase embodies the can-do attitude some people might call stubbornness, and that has served him so well as a farmer. And this determination goes way back, like the time his mom asked him to call his dad in for supper. Without anyone knowing, 5-year-old Fred thinks, "Yes, I can," when he sees the tractor just sitting there, and hops on, revs it up, and go grabs Dad. That same ambition led him to raise his own herd of cattle to pay for college, and he graduated from WSU in agricultural business. And after working for Wilbur Ellis for a time, he and his brother Alan went into business together and formed Elsie Farming in 1980 and Oberding Seed in the late 80s. They grew potatoes in rotation with sweet corn, alfalfa, and Timothy hay, and cut their own potato seed. Over the years, they received several top potato awards from McCain Foods, Lamb Weston, and Simplot. And in 1999, Dad graduated from Washington's Ag Forestry Leadership Program. We thank the Lord for our dad's life and the life we've been given. Watching our father build a business and provide for our family and others and contribute to our community is something we don't take for granted. Growing up, we had the privilege of driving tractors and selling corn, and now we get to see our kids experience the same joys. Blake and I had the opportunity to show pigs in the pens Dad welded for the Benton Franklin Fair, and now the grandkids are doing the same. We've all enjoyed watching little leaguers play on the fields Dad helped level and build, and 4-Hers are thankful for the use of Dad's farm to grow pumpkins for fundraising. And I know Dad is really just also so grateful for these opportunities. Blake, you and Dad have been farming Cloud 9 for a while together. You have any funny stories?
Yeah, I do. I do. You know, you don't leave me much time here, but you know, when I think
you get extra time. Colin said so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sure my dad's gonna eat that up. You know, when I think of my dad, you know, 2 words come to mind, and it's problem solver. And I think pioneers kind of embodied that. And so, just a quick funny story. We had some triticale, and my dad's like, "Well, we should go get some cattle." So we head up to Toppenish, and we ended up getting about 90 head. Didn't think that was going to happen. So we brought them back to the farm, had the corral set up, and the trucker comes in, and he goes, where's your cattle chute?" "Well, we're going to have to figure something out here." So we ended up using the snowmobile trailer, taking the hitch off and dropping it down. Lo and behold, it was right there at the same level, and we put up a couple panels up against it. And it was like 11 o'clock at night, rain and cold as hell. And even though we got it done, got them unloaded. And as the cattle trucker was leaving, he goes, man, if I'm ever stuck in the woods, I want your dad to be there because has no quit, and he is a problem solver. So
Yeah.
I know Colin's going to be going like this to my dad, so you better get up here and talk.
Thank you, guys.
My name is Fred Oberding. I'm currently co-owner of Cloud9 Farms. Something that stood out in my mind was that first year of putting up hay at Ice Harbor, and so I was out there on an average of 20 hours a day during the season. Then along come Mount St. Helens, and it was miserable to put up hay with all that dust in the air and ash. I was plain disgusted with what we were doing, and thinking I might be better off quitting. But I remember coming around and seeing the lights of my brother's tractor, and as we got closer, seeing the definition on his face, I looked at his face, and he was smiling in a cloud of dust. And the only thing I could see was his blackened face, but his bright, shiny teeth. And that just was a total reinforcement to what we were doing and how we should be doing it. I remember more mistakes that I've made compared to the successes I've had. I just happened to make the right turn on the road to success. Don't let your life be dictated by mistakes. You can make mistakes once, but don't make them again. I appreciate the nomination, but I look at all the past winners and I'm thinking there's no way I should deserve to be with a group of these guys. When I turned 70 last November, said I was going to retire. Hell, I spent more time working harder this year than I ever have, or as hard as any year I've ever worked. And I decided this year when it's done, I'm done. I'm going to enjoy things.
So here to present the 2025 Wheatland Bank Pioneer Award is Bill Shibley.
Good evening. On behalf of Wheatland Bank, the largest ag bank in the state of Washington, we're very proud to present the Pioneer Award to Fred Oberding.
Well, like many of you know, I tend to overrun on my speeches, and I promised myself I'm not going to do that tonight. So here's going to be my shortest speech in history. Because I didn't write a speech. I'm actually freehanding what I'm talking about because I didn't know if I was going to be up here and defend what people said about me or tell the real story. So, but I see so many people I've known from my past, and I'm just honored. And I see one of the guys I went to college with. He was my roommate. I wasn't willing or deserved this award in any way, shape, or mean without the people behind me. And I've had 4 people I can think of that have been with me supporting what we do for over 40 years. And one of them was ill tonight. 2 of them are in the crowd. And one of them tragically passed away a couple years back. But if you want to, those are the guys that made me. I just provided opportunity and choices. And I guess I'd like to say a few words to the younger people in this crowd about choices. because you end up somewhere along the line where you have to make a choice. And if you can imagine yourself coming up to a T in a road, you either got to go left or right. And if you don't know what to do, you just choose and stick with it. And believe me, I know, most of the time I take the wrong choice. But what I've learned from doing that is I pay attention to what the choice I made and what the results were. And I've learned a lot more from my mistakes than I ever did from making the right turn. And that's probably why I get this Pioneer Award, because I've made so many mistakes. And I'm still here because I pay attention to what I've done and how I've done it. And these are things I preach every day to my son, my daughter. In fact, I thought Sarah was going to tell a story where I finally had to fire her for sleeping in the packing tractor. But anyway, I've come a long ways with a lot of help from a lot of people. And I've had two heroes in my life. One was when I was in high school, and the guy was a senior when I was a freshman. And he was just the kind of a guy I wanted to emulate. He was nice to everybody, including seniors being nice to freshmen, which you hardly ever find. And he was kind and always had a good heart. And his name was Andy Hain. And the other guy that I respect and honor, he won this award in the second year. His wife was Alice Didier, and his name was Don Didier. He's a guy I've always respected. So I've tried to emulate him through my professional choices and everything that goes along with that. But again, for the young people, choose somebody that you want to copy. Choose somebody you want to look like, or not look like, but follow. And you can always ask them or ask yourself, what would they do in this situation? And they'll usually do the right thing. And so I'm just telling you that I guess I was lucky, because more times than not, I'd end up doing the right thing. Anyway, I want to thank you again for all being here tonight, and all the people that are on the wall, because I'm actually fortunate to be in that same crowd. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much.